Well, I've come out to Padet Weir, and I want to explain to you that this is the location, almost, over in this field, is where the old relics of a temple from way back are situated. This is Wat Pa Tan, and in Garry Harbottle-Johnson's book, it's number 23. From Gary's texts here, he says, actually, a difficult road to access. Well, now it's all concrete, and it's actually the back access to the weir here. He says, this site currently is only worth visiting for the adventure of riding a motorbike along a lane whose surface alternates between tarmac, dirt, gravel and badly ridged concrete spillage. At the very end of the lane there is a weir across the river. Were the access not fenced off, it could make a nice picnic spot. How romantic. Garry, this is, yeah, it could be a nice picnic spot, but it's very much developed now. It has indeed changed an awful lot from when you were here. He goes on to say, the security does not seem to deter locals who appear to like swimming. So at the moment there's no swimmers here, it's a bit bloody cold. When I left the house this morning it was just over 20. The sun is starting to peek through. All that are here at the moment are some fisher folk enjoying the calmness of being on the river at this time of day. And in reading on Gary's book, it says there's only a reference to it at the Wat Kan Thom temple, that it actually exists, and the access lane to it is about 100 metres north of Wat Pa Tan, and signposted only by a blue sign in Thai pointing to a water company office. About 100 metres before the lane ends, in front of that office, there is set a high gates which are permanently locked. Could be. However, looking through them to the left, under some trees about 50 metres away, and next to the boundary fence, is a hummock in the grass which may be covering a Chedi base. There's no hummock there. Cow. Do not enter. Well, that's a bit disappointing. I can't go through there. I wonder as to whether the gates at the end of the track are these, or indeed the ones that are now open. There is no hump that I can see at the far end here, and I can't see into this building's grounds, the area that is behind these gates, unless I walk through this little hole in the wall here, and I'm not about to go trespassing for the sake of sensational YouTube videos about Wiang Kum Kam. But there's a nice spirit house in the corner, and I just like to think that maybe through this ground here, maybe underneath that huge tree in the background, maybe there's a relic of a temple. So as far as Wat Pa Tan is concerned, unfortunately there's not a lot to show you. So as you can see there, we're looking at number 23, and over by the river there, it's actually situated in the water. It's actually situated in the ping, and right now there is a weir situated over the top of that, and we will never see any of that again because when they did the excavations they'd have destroyed that. But anyway, we're now going to go on to the next exciting one, which is Wat Kum Kam, and that is number 24 in the series. And to me, this has probably been seen by more people than most, and represents Wiang Kum Kam to the world. As far as the internet knows, Wiang Kum Kam is this huge Chedi that, yeah, it's got a bit of history. Well, let me read from Garry Harbottle-Johnson's book directly. According to Chiang Mai Chronicles, the stupa, not Chedi, at Wat Chedi Liam was originally raised by King Mengrai after the city defences were finished in the year 650, which is either 1288 or 1289 AD. Well, this is a very nice place to come to look at local batik and other gifts, and there's a lot to see here. You can pick up all sorts of interesting, wonderful things, 300-400 baht, and there's Sabati Kap, and there are a couple of stalls here during the week, but Friday it's absolutely packed out because there's a weekly market that is held in the area, and you can't move for stalls. I actually want to bring you through the back of this little market here, if I can get to it. Ooh. Don't bang the head on the top there. This temple is called Wat Chedi Liam today after the square shape of its principal stupa that was unique to Wiang Kum Kam. What? It's not unique. It is not. Well, yeah, there is only one of these in Wiang Kum Kam, correct. The temple was established by King Mengrai over 700 years ago to house the stupa that contained the relics of his wife. The stupa is in the shape of a square stepped pyramid consisting of 5 tiers. Each tier is decorated with niches enshrining standing Buddha statues. There are 60 Buddha statues in total. During the reign of King Rama V, over 100 years ago, a wealthy merchant who came to start a timber trade in the northern region restored the stupa and adorned it with decorations of Burmese style. Now, what Garry goes on to say in his book is that she's mentioned in connection with the 4 Bodhi tree saplings in the year 1290-91. Yet the Fine Arts Department, Plinth, at this site says that Mengrai built the stupa in year 1294 to hold her relics after she died in that year, the same year as Emperor Kublai Khan of the Mongol Chinese dynasty. So, interned in this stupa are the relics of Queen Pai Ko, Lady Pai Ko, interned in this stupa in 1294. Now, this is a very revered stupa. On the plinth it says it's unique, and it is indeed unique to Wiang Kum Kam, but it's not unique in Thailand. This is a copy modelled on the earlier structure found out in Lampun at Wat Cham Devi, who actually was interned in that stupa. Now, who on earth thought it was a good idea to put fireworks, attach fireworks to this a couple of years ago? Now, who on earth thought it was a good idea to think that the ceremony, a festival, would celebrate this structure by attaching fireworks to it and lighting it up? Well, apparently the monks here did. And a couple of years ago, there was a video that went viral of the desecration of this revered structure with all of these beautiful images of standing Buddhas in all of the recesses that you can see, with the relics interned of Queen Pai Ko. It just goes to show, I mean, we've been seeing in the news recently, I've commented the other day to Di that, you know, monks, they're doing some strange things recently. Maybe they've always done it and we've just got social media to prove it now. Now, also, a couple of years ago I came here, and it was when the Ping had flooded and all of this was underwater. I was walking here with water lapping around my knees, and I walked through here and I took some photographs showing this fabulous coloured structure here. Well, here tucked away behind the main temple building is what's known as an ubosot. We can see straight away that it's an ubosot. On the one hand, because it's slightly smaller, it has this style of structure, but immediately we can see, because of the stones that are here, we can see the 1, 2, 3. There's one around the back, 4. There's one here, 5, 6, 7, 8 reflecting the other side. And indeed, we know from going to other ubosots that there's one underneath this building in the middle of the structure. Garry also goes on to say, the current Vihan is truly worth visiting to see the gold decorative carving work and the superb murals painted inside and out. Well, I've come here to the city walls, the western side, as detailed in Garry Harbottle-Johnson's book, Site 25. The city walls and moat on the west side of Wiang Kum Kam are the most obvious and complete anywhere around the city's perimeter. This is even more true following the restorative landscaping undertaken during late July and early August 2002. Commencing at a point due east of Wat Chedi Liam, or Wat Kum Kam, that's the place that we've just come from up there, we get to, isn't he gorgeous? Look at this dog. That's one of the guided tours that's just gone straight past. And we can see here the wet moat that would, this is the extension of the ping, and it is then a bank which is raised, and then we've got a dip, and whether this had water or not I'm not sure, but it's a dip. And if we look at the image shown in Garry Harbottle-Johnson's book previously, you'll see the moat, then the palisade and sharpened stakes, the barbaric stakes, and then finally the raised mound at the back. And this would have been all around the city, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around the city of Wiang Kum Kam. So once you've come through the inner wall, you come through to this, as Garry explains it, this unassuming ruin. Now, Garry's book says here, the unassuming ruin, typical of several of Wiang Kum Kam, lies just inside the ancient city walls in northwest corner of the city site. There is a vihan with an accompanying Lanna-style chedi, the latter on an indented square base. From the main chamber of the chedi, there is a niche in each direction, and the whole was decorated with stucco of a similar type at Chedi Pasak in Chiang Mai. The Fine Arts Department excavated and restored the site in 1989, at which time they dated it as constructed in the 15th century. So here's a wall with an entrance, and we can only assume there must have been a wall out here somewhere. This is broken brickwork below us. And if we go in through the entrance, we see no staircase immediately here. And here is the staircase. And 2 lovely cats. How about that? You can see here the pillars. There's one there, not one here, but then there are parallel symmetrical pillars, obviously indicating there would have been a roof held by these pillars. And in Garry Harbottle-Johnson's book, he says the site has an ubasot, or ordination hall. If the dating is correct, then it was possible it was built in commemoration of the king whose name it bears. But if so, then by whom, Garry asks. The earliest dating of the temple offers a construction date a century after his death, and that may be the most significant clue, although in Buddhist belief the rotation of multiples of 12 years are more important. Therefore, 120th anniversary of his death or founding of the city is more probable, as this represents the 10th cycle since the date of the event celebrated. Now, if I can just remind you that many of these structures have been renovated. They have had new bricks placed where the old ones were worn away or robbed, and what you see here is not necessarily as it was uncovered from all the silt, the thousands of floodings that it's had. This is a restored, semi-restored location. Now, in the distance over the far side there is where we're going to go to next. Situated through the same entrance, as you come through on the left is Meng Rai, and as we then go on through, we go to Wat Pa Tan Dam. Now, it's extremely hard to read because a lot of it has been picked away with age. But it says the temple got its name from Pa Tan Dam because it had a burn bronze Buddha image found in the area. Pra Chao in northern dialect means the Buddha image. Another name was called by the local people Pai Meng Rai, the name of king who established Wiang Kum Kam. This temple is located in the area inside and to the northwest of Wiang Kum Kam. The Department of Fine Arts excavated and restored this temple in 89 to 90 respectively. The remains in the group of Pra Chao Dam Ong Dam consist of vihara, a chedi and square base. The vihara was built in a rectangular shape. A balustrade of the front stairway of the vihara has a stucco type of spiral design. The chedi, which is situated at the rear of the vihara, was formed in a square base and with indented corners on top and an unadorned lower base. In addition to the south above 5 metres, the area has 3 rectangular bases remained, the area connected together with a pathway. The remains in the group Paya Meng Rai, that's situated on the south side of the first group, are a porch, main entrance, a boundary wall, a vihara, a chedi, and an ordination hall, ubathot. The vihara, which faces the east, has the chedi built at its rear. The chedi has a square base with indented corners, supported relic chamber with a niche for the Buddha image in each direction. About 100 metres from the front of these monuments, to the east, a trace of the old Ping River, together with a dike and small pavilion, still remain in the area. Monuments in the area insist that this temple was a big monastery, an important one for Wiang Kum Kam. However, its other architectures and structures may have been covered by earth or completely destroyed. This temple was built twice, is dated the 15th to the 17th centuries. I tell you, everywhere you walk here, there's bricks, 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 bricks. You don't know the age of them. You don't know whether they were the replacements or what. Oh my goodness me, it's even more complicated now. My goodness me. Site 27 is Wat Pa Tan Dam, and it says in Garry Harbottle-Johnson's book, faces towards the north and the adjacent Wat Pa Meng Rai. It is also just inside the old city walls in the northwest corner of the enclosed area. It has several main ruins, which are a Chedi, a Vihan, and the northern main entrance, 40 metres east of the main site, it has a mandapa, and several other remnants are scattered around the area, including 3 rectangular bases, another Vihan, and an additional Chedi. It's unclear if they are a separate temple or part of this one. Fine Arts Department excavated and restored the area in 89 and dated the main site to be 14th to 15th centuries. Sorry, 14th to 16th centuries. When restoring the multiple levels of the Chedi base, the restorers added or enhanced an altar-like structure on the first level of the west side, facing the rear of the Vihan. Aha. The Fine Arts Department plinth is below the tree at the rear, and clear space between this temple and its neighbour on a clear sky day is also a good place to leave your motorbike or car, blimey, to avoid hot seat syndrome after exploring the ruins. That same tree is also a popular picnic spot for locals and tourists alike. Please do not add to the litter that now spoils many of the sites. Please take your rubbish home with you. Yeah, so true, Gary. The amount of rubbish that you see in these places is disgusting. Now, let me go back to what the Fine Arts Department were saying. We've got stucco represented here on these steps at the entrance here onto this vihara. So this is described on that plinth over there. In the distance we see a gold Chedi image on a Chedi, and on this side we've got other ruins such as a mandapa, and we've got other Vihan and Chedi bases over on this side too. So you can see over in the distance, you can see Wat Chedi Liam, and then in the foreground you have Wat Pa Tan, and then you've got this temple which is built twice, 2 vihara, one here and one on the other side. I am amazed. When you come in, you don't see these other structures here because they're hidden around the corner. But also, because you can see here, people have brought along offerings, and there is a little Buddha image on the top here. You can see that there is some active, ongoing reverence being paid to these structures, to this place. But I'm slightly confused. However, just think, were these contemporary with each other? Was was this one on the right actually here at the same time as the one on the left, and therefore this was a huge temple complex that was being used by people in the 1500s, therefore 300 years after Chiang Mai was constructed, and it was all one huge thing? Or was one a relic whilst this one was active? Don't know. Wat Pa Tan Dam over there. Fantastic. God, I shall sleep happier tonight knowing that I have interpreted the sign. I've interpreted Gary's book correctly. As you come in, the one on the left is Pra Meng Rai, Wat Pa Meng Rai, and the one at the back there is not. So could it be that all this was happening together, and this was a huge area like we see Wat Chedi Liam? When you go in there, you've got all these car parks and areas where people would have had festivals. Is it where people would have gathered here to pay respects to Pra Meng Rai, and then also to the monks who were venerated over here? This was a huge site in its own right, not just on their own. the fact that it's all together was a huge sight. Wow. Didn't see that until I got here. Bit of a stupid statement, Ali. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and this one in the series of Wiang Kum Kam. I've done a few. I'll leave a link in the video above and also in the description below to the others that I have done. I really want to put my hand out to Garry Harbottle-Johnson for creating this book in the first place. I was in contact with him recently and we've exchanged a few emails. He has further copies of this and I've asked him to make those available. I'm not sure what he's done about that because he's gone a bit quiet. I asked if I could be of any assistance in making those books available. I've not heard anything back. However, what he has contributed to us Westerners, let alone Thai people who could pick this information up, about the history that goes on in Wiang Kum Kam, that's overlooked maybe by people who come here for as tourists or live here, not just in Wiang Kum Kam but in the local province, that don't understand what really is under their nose. I want to say thank you also to the many subscribers of this channel. I've now got to 2,000 plus, and I never thought I'd go past 1,000. When I've reached a little bit of a rounded number, I think, oh, these numbers are fantastic. I don't want my numbers on my channel to go through the roof. I'm not in this for money. I'm not in this for being popular. I don't need this channel to be generating an income, so I'm merely monetizing it for YouTube to actually spread my word more, because it's it's like a contract. You scratch theirs, they'll scratch yours. So I'm thankful that the subscribers have come along. Please let me know in the comments if you think this type of video is helpful for you. When you come to Chiang Mai, do you come to Wiang Kum Kam? Have you been here to Wiang Kum Kam? Do you find the information I'm giving you in these videos about Wiang Kum Kam of any use when you've come here? So please let me know some comments, please. I'm going to wrap it up for this one and hopefully see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.